just set up Owen and Teddy's exit, and fans missed it. Let's talk about what just happened in Grey's Anatomy, because this episode didn't just move the story forward. It quietly set up something much bigger, and if you weren't really paying attention, you probably missed it. So first, Owen and Teddy. On the surface, it looked simple. Owen gets offered a job at Cascade Hill, a struggling rural hospital that shut down its ORs years ago because, as he put it, it didn't make financial sense. But that line, that's the entire point. This wasn't just about a job offer. This was about what Owen Hunt has always represented. Owen isn't driven by prestige. He's not chasing awards or status. He's always been about purpose, about going where he's needed most. And Cascade Hill, that's exactly that. A broken system, underserved patients, a place where doctors actually matter again. That surgical scene, the splenectomy, wasn't just a random emergency. It was proof. Proof that this hospital needs someone like Owen. And more importantly, proof that Owen belongs there. Now here's where it gets interesting, because Teddy Altman fights it hard. Not because she doesn't understand the mission, she does, but because she understands what it means. If Owen goes, everything changes. Their life, their stability, their future. And when Owen says, the timing isn't right, don't take that at face value. That's not a rejection, that's hesitation, because Grey's Anatomy has done this before. They introduce an idea, let it sit, and then bring it back when the emotional stakes are higher. With only a few episodes left, the question isn't if Owen leaves, it's whether Teddy goes with him. And that's where the showrunner's comment, "This isn't goodbye," suddenly makes a lot more sense. A nearby hospital, a new chapter, but still close enough to come back. That's not an exit, that's a soft reset. Now let's shift to the storyline that completely blindsided everyone, Lucas. Because what he did in this episode, that wasn't just messy, that was self-destruction in real time. After Katie's death, you expect grief, you expect distance. But what Lucas Adams is doing goes deeper than that. He's pushing Simone away, not because he doesn't care, but because it's easier than dealing with the guilt, the anger, and whatever he's blaming himself for. That moment when Simone confronts him, that's not miscommunication, that's intentional. He wants to burn that bridge. And then, the bar scene. This is where the writing gets really smart, because bringing in Dr. Spencer wasn't random. She's the opposite of Simone, lighter, easier, no emotional baggage tied to Katie. So when Lucas chooses her, it's not about love. It's about escape, avoidance, control, and that final shot of them together, that's not romance, that's a warning, because now this isn't a triangle anymore, it's chaos. And Lucas just made sure there's no easy way back. Then we've got Jules and Winston, and honestly, the show wants you to root for them. But the way they got together, that's the problem. Because this wasn't timing, this wasn't complicated emotions, this was selfish. Winston Dugu knew what he was doing, Jules Millen knew what she was pushing for. And Iris, she's the one who paid for it. Her birthday, ruined, while they're arguing in the middle of a procedure like it's high school drama. And that matters, because it changes how the audience sees them. You can't build a rootable couple on someone else's humiliation, so even though they technically end up together, it doesn't feel like a win. It feels uncomfortable. And that's intentional. But none of these storylines come close to what Kwan just did. Because this changes everything. Benson Kwan crossed a line that Grey's Anatomy rarely lets characters come back from. He didn't bend the rules. He broke the law. Injecting hydrogel into a patient without consent, that's not a moral gray area. That's a career-ending decision. And what makes it worse is that he believes he was right. That's the tragedy. Because in his mind, he wasn't being reckless. He was fighting a system that failed his patient. And that's the deeper theme of this episode. Not love, not drama, control. Who gets to decide what's right? Doctors, systems like the FDA, or desperation in the face of death? Bailey's reaction says everything. She's seen rule-breaking before. She's done it. But this shook her. Because Kwan didn't just risk himself. He destroyed trust. And in medicine, once that's gone, it doesn't come back. So when you step back and look at this episode as a whole, it's not random drama. It's a setup. Owen and Teddy, a possible exit. Lucas, spiraling into something darker. Jules and Winston, a relationship already on shaky ground. Kwan, heading toward consequences that could define his entire future. Everything is moving towards something. And with only a few episodes left, none of this is accidental. Now I want to hear from you. Do you think Owen is actually going to leave this time? Was Lucas wrong or just broken? And did Kwan just end his career or save a life the system gave up on? Drop your thoughts below, because this season, it's not slowing down, it's just getting started.